ici Radio-Canada Nord-Québec. Nous commençons maintenant nos émissions quotidiennes sur ondes courtes, diffusées à la fréquence 9625 kHz dès 7h58 heure normale de l'Est, jusqu'à la fermeture à 1h30 du matin. Ces émissions vous parviennent de nos studios de Montréal, au Québec, et notre émetteur est situé à chaque ville, au Nouveau-Brunswick. Adressez toute correspondance à Radio-Canada Nord-Québec, 4 postale 6000, Montréal-Québec, H3C 3 à 8. Pour tout commentaire, téléphonez-nous au 1-877-597-4369. Je vous souhaite une excellente journée à l'antenne de Radio-Canada Nord-Québec.
Coming up on day 6. This is CBC News. Good morning, I'm Martina Fitzgerald. This is World Report. We'll start with an international terrorism case that involves U.S. soldiers, Iraq, and a Canadian citizen. Saifedean Sarar Sharif is accused of inciting a group of Tunisians to go to Iraq in 2009 and carry out suicide bombings. 5 U.S. soldiers were killed, along with 7 Iraqis. Sharif was born in Iraq and became a Canadian after arriving in this country as a refugee almost 20 years ago. In Edmonton, where Sharif lives, police mounted a surveillance operation. Late yesterday, a judge ruled that the evidence gathered from Sharif's conversations and emails are enough to allow his extradition to the U.S. to face murder and terrorism charges. Briar Stewart has more from Edmonton.
Saifedean Tahir Sharif sat beside a translator, listening as the judge said he should be extradited to the United States. Sharif goes by several aliases. Long before police burst through his apartment door last January, he was being watched. Investigators sifted through Sharif's emails and listened in on his phone conversations. After he was arrested, he was interrogated by U.S. Department of Justice official John Mazzella.
You tell them that they should be a martyr, and you tell them that they should put on a suicide belt.
Sharif admitted he kissed jihad, but he insisted it was just talk. A judge dismissed that, saying his actions went well beyond religious enthusiasm.
Anyone who values their communication should be concerned about this process.
Bob Alanese is Sharif's lawyer.
You could be shipped to a foreign jurisdiction, in this case it's the United States, but it could be really any country which we have a treaty with. And to go there based on a letter, on a mere letter from a lawyer saying, send this person, we have the evidence. You don't have a chance to cross-examine witnesses, get full disclosure.
Alanese will be asking the federal justice minister to have Sharif stand trial in Canada because this is all the evidence is gathered. After the justice minister makes his decision, Sharif can appeal the extradition order. He could remain in custody in Canada for months more. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Edmonton.
Turning to Beirut now, where police are trying to determine who set off a deadly car bomb. It exploded yesterday during rush hour traffic in a busy part of the city. Among the dead is Lebanon's head of internal intelligence. Dominic Politis is following today's developments.
Beirut, and investigators collect what evidence they can from the scene of yesterday's car bombing, watching on as some of the city's residents, many of whom are fearful of what the future has in store.
It's really terrible to put such a big explosion in a residential neighborhood. We are all under shock. And the situation in Lebanon all in all is terrible. No security, no government. We are suffering every day.
Amongst the 8 who lost their lives in the attack was Lebanon's internal intelligence chief Wissam al-Hassan. Today's papers run his obituary. Lebanon's politicians line up to accuse Damascus of being behind his death. Al-Hassan was an enemy of both the Syrian regime and its close ally Hezbollah. Before his death, he investigated an alleged Syrian plot to sponsor a bombing campaign in Lebanon and implicated the regime in the 2005 assassination of the Lebanese Prime Minister Rafik al-Hariri. Today, his son and current opposition leader Saad Hariri is amongst those pointing the finger of blame at Syrian President Bashar al-Assad for al-Hassan's death. Tension in Lebanon over the Syrian conflict has been rising for some time. Yesterday's attack in Beirut not only killed and maimed writings that have driven a wedge between the country's religious communities, which are already divided between those who support the Syrian regime and those who support the rebels. CBC News, London.
Folks who are passionate about video games and comic books are likely familiar with events such as ANSO and Comic Con. Self-described nerds in the north have created their own version.
Each player puts a creature card from his or her graveyard onto the battlefield.
Roy Grinstead and four friends drew hours into a game called Magic the Gathering, an intense card trading game that has wizards cast out spells to destroy each other.
I'm the only one with a hand.
Grinstead's buying circle is small, with no card or comic book shops in Yellowknife, because it's hard to meet other players.
Going to school in bigger cities where the nerd community is a little more established, and then coming back and finding that there's nerds that don't know that there are other nerds.
Grinstead helped organize the event called Comic Con, Yellowknife's first entertainment expo. The name was inspired by ptarmigan, northern birds that flock together.
Enthusiasts of different media, games, hobbies come together and sometimes they enjoy.
Comic Con will be smaller than conventions in the South. It's organized by a group of friends and local sponsors. The Big Thomas Nerd Trivia Contest, console tabletop gaming tournament, and of course costumes, props, and prizes. Nikki Marquez has been to 5 expos in the Canada.
Yellowknife not just like
Step 2.
The day of Comic-Con has personal significance.
I'm going to be dressing up. I've never dressed up in public before. To go and just be me, be a nerd, not having to hide it.
Kate Kyle, CBC News, Yellowknife.
Winter is still more than 2 months away, but the ski season has already started for some high-level athletes in Canmore, Alberta. As Carla Bynum reports, it's never too early to train for the next Olympic Games.
Skiers in Canmore are getting a jump start to the training season. It's too soon for snow, but not on frozen thunder. It's one of the only early season ski trails in the world made from last year's snow. Michael Rokoff is with the Canmore Nordic Center.
We actually produced a whole lot of snow, 17,000 cubic meters using machines, snowmaking machines. That's how it's stored under a thick layer of sawdust.
It's cold during the warm summer months until it can be hauled onto 2 kilometers of trail and smoothed out. As Canada's national cross-country ski and triathlon teams prepare for the racing season, Paralympic coach Robin McKeever says it's giving them a competitive edge.
The other options will turn up in Central Europe and in Northern Scandinavia, but those are just like maybe 1,000 meters long.
Athletes like Sandra Crawford feel the investment in their success is paying off.
When I go to perform, when I go to train, I'm so grateful. It's almost like a tribute.
The road to Sochi as the athletes get training for the 2014 Olympic Games. The ultimate goal is to win more medals. They hope Frozen Thunder will help make that happen. Carla Bynum, CBC News, Canmore.